Welcome to the first episode of City Sense. I am Daphne Schwartz, and I am the Finance Director with the City of Mebane. And today I'm going to talk to you about the popular annual financial report. And it's Mebane's first popular annual financial report, also called a PAFR. And it's basically a shorter version of our annual comprehensive financial report. And it's in a user-friendly format. And hopefully you'll find it interesting. So first, I want to talk to you about the financial structure of the city. And so government accounting has what we call fund accounting. And so the city has three different funds. We have a governmental fund, a proprietary or business type fund, which is run a lot like a business to be self-sufficient, and a capital reserve fund. So governmental funds include the general fund, which is our largest fund, and it is the fund where we collect property taxes, and it is the fund where we pay for public safety, such as fire and police, recreation, street maintenance, sanitation, and most of the city services you see are paid for from that fund. Then the business type fund, which is called that, like I said, because it's supposed to be self-sufficient, is our water and sewer or utility fund. And that fund collects user fees from utility customers and takes care of the water lines, the wastewater treatment plant, and all of the infrastructure that goes into our water system. And the other fund is the Utility Capital Reserve Fund, which is funded through system development fees or fees that are paid for new construction in the city. And those funds are used to fund utility capital projects. So next I'm going to talk about the budget. So the year or the fiscal year for the city runs from July 1st to June 30th. And so we start our budget process in the November-December timeframe. And we start this process with a budget kickoff that happens internally. And it's when all of the finance department and the department heads and city manager all get together. We go over the budget calendar, due dates for things that are required, and we ask these department heads to start working on their budget and start thinking about what they're going to need for the next fiscal year. And then that information is due to the finance department and city manager in January. And after that, meetings are held in February and March that are also internal meetings between department heads and city management, where the department head discusses what they would like in the budget for the next year with city management. And discussions occur during that time, a lot of discussions around capital projects and things such as that, big projects for the city coming up for the next year. And then usually towards the end of March, the city council has their first budget work session. And that's where half of the department heads will present their budget request to the city council so they can hear what's being requested. And usually a couple weeks later, the other half of department heads will present their budget requests. Then after that, we normally have at least one other city council work session where capital projects and any personnel requests are discussed and the budget in general is discussed. And then in May is when the city manager decides what he is going to present to the city council and what he wants in his budget. And so the city manager will make decisions based on estimated revenues and what the department heads are requesting. And he will decide what he wants to see in the next year's budget and present that to council. And then in early June is when the city council will approve a budget. They may make changes to the city manager's budget. They may not. It just depends. But they will pass their budget for the city in early June. And then, of course, that budget starts in July. And so that's basically how the budget process works. And during this time, during the meetings, especially when the city manager presents his budget in early May and the council approves the budget in early June, the public is able to come and comment on the budget documents because they will be made public as part of the city council packet. So the public has an opportunity to review what's being requested in the budgets and to come speak to the city council regarding what they think of that. Decisions about how to spend the taxpayer dollar is they're determined through the budget process. So that's why it's also important for the public to be aware of what's being requested through the budget process. So in our fiscal year, which ended June 30th, 2022, your taxpayer dollar was primarily spent on public safety and public works. And so of one taxpayer dollar, 37 cents of it was spent on public safety, which is police and fire protection. And then 21 cents of your tax dollar was spent on public works, which includes sanitation, the guys who come around to pick up your trash, maintaining streets, when you see people out there working on our streets and repaving streets. So that department, 21 cents of your taxpayer dollar goes to that department. General government, which includes the city manager, human resources, finance, information technology, 13 cents of your taxpayer dollar is spent for that. Economic development and physical development, 12 cents of the taxpayer dollar is spent for that. And that includes our planning department and our inspections department. So as you see houses and businesses being built around the city, they go out and inspect those sites to make sure everything is up to code. Also, as a homeowner, if you are going to put up a fence or do any significant work on your property, you would be dealing with our inspections department and getting your permits for that. And then for recreation, 10 cents of the taxpayer dollar is spent on that. And of course, a lot of residents are familiar with our wonderful parks, our trails, our splash pad, dog park, athletic programs, the MAC, all of those great things. And then 7 cents of your dollar is spent on debt service, which is repaying loans for things such as vehicles, fire stations, fire trucks, garbage trucks, things like that. Thank you for joining me on this episode of City Cents. Now that I've given you my 5 cents, I'd like to hear your 5 cents, and please drop us a line and let us know what you would like to see on my next episode. So please drop a line to me or our PIO and let us know. Stay positively charming, Mebane. Bye.